It's VinydeWonderful transmission with your host, VinydeWonderful.
Yay! It's me, Vinny, on the very first transmission. The reason I decided to record this is because I have an interesting story to share, a letter that I received from a friend. So, a little bit of introduction about myself, which relates to this correspondence. A long time ago, I decided to go and study art, visual art, because, drawing, as I'm sure to a lot of people who draw and paint, it's part of who you are as something that you do ever since you were a kid. And so even though I contemplated other stuff and I like science very much, I ultimately decided to go and get a degree on art. Now, at the time I made that decision, I had a friend, a very good friend of mine, and he wanted to be an engineer. And at the time I said to him, that's very nice, but and he tried to convince me that no, engineering is like a whole lot better than studying art, especially because it pays really well. But I said to him, I looked him in the eyes and I said, man, do you really want to go and study something that in a couple of years, just a couple of years, a robot can replace you? Because let's be honest, engineering is like just computation and mathematics, and that is stuff that computers can do. So a computer in like 10, 20 years, I said to him, it's going to replace you. And yes, I may not make a lot of money with an art degree, but I am irreplaceable. So, not only I am an artist and an illustrator, I am also someone with an art degree, which will come in play in this here transmission. By the way, I refuse to call this a podcast because I'm fighting the system. Because I'm that kind of, like I'm always planning forward. Like you don't know how clever I am. Like I'm not really, but I'm ahead on stuff. I'm in front of stuff. Anyway, I digress. I got here in my hands. You guys can't see, but you can listen to it. The paper, a letter from this friend of mine who went on to be an engineer. So I'm gonna read it for the first time here. Oh, there's some artwork attached, but pretty short letter. Dear Vinny, here is your friend. Yes, I'm not gonna say his name because it wouldn't be nice. My job as an engineer is earning me 5 figures a month. Wow. Well, yeah, I'm not making that kind of money at all, ever. But I'm happy for him. He's my friend. How is your job as an artist? Well, I'm not. I'm not really making any money at the moment. Commissions have been slow. and other professional. But I've been drawing. I've been I'm doing this transmission right now, so stuff is going pretty okay. How is your job as an artist? Speaking of art, I have been creating art with an AI generator. Okay, the whole AI thing, right? Okay, yeah, but like, how great can artificial intelligence art? How great can it be? Here's some printed for you. I hope you're well. Well, hope you're well too. Now let us see this art here. Was this created by an AI? This can be. Oh my god. Let me. How many minutes is there left? I'm gonna. Is this for real? Let me cut the mic real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna. I need to contemplate this in a quiet and calm, dignified artist manner. Oh my god. What am I doing with my life? Hi guys, VinydeWonderful here. This is a disclaimer for the YouTube version of this episode. The original version had me fake crying, which led to a segment in which I talked about The Slumber of Reason, a Francisco de Goya print. And on the background, I had a song La Partida sung by Enrico Caruso. That song got flagged as copyright infringement by a channel named SME. And since YouTube doesn't really mediate disputes of copyright, and even though that song is in the public domain, I could have just disputed, I decided to make a new version just for YouTube, with this disclaimer saying that it's not the original version. It doesn't have that fun segment I made with a public domain song. So that's it. Yeah, it's not the original version. If you want the original version, you have to go to VinydeWonderful.blogspot.com, probably. That's it. Thank you. Disclaimer over. So, yes, sorry about this. Sorry, excuse for an introduction for the very first transmission. I did not break down crying. I was just doing a bit. Because AI art seems to be in everybody's mind at the moment. And I figured I'd get this topic out of the way in the very first episode. It's a little bit more interesting than just talk about myself. I want to do those transmissions to talk about illustration, to talk about fantasy art, and stuff that I like and stuff that I studied about, just to share that knowledge, if any, that I have. Anyway, AI art. Should we talk about it? I'll talk about it. A lot of people think AI is the end of the world and it will replace art. And I see that from the perspective of people who study the history of inventions, the history of technology. they make the case that new technologies come around and they completely obliterate the previous technology. And that may be true for, I don't know, petroleum replacing the whale oil, or electricity replacing gas lamp. And in a lot of art discussions on the internet, people think that AI is going to replace art. My educated opinion is that that is not the case. Now, mind you, any creative person, any intelligent person can't be so arrogant as to suggest he or she knows what will happen in the future. So I can't make any promises. I cannot make any guarantees. But I can share an educated guess. And although there are several examples in the history of technology to show that one technology replaces the other, that is not true in the history of technology in art. This is a very niche and specific thing. And it's a part of art history when you look how the Industrial Revolution and the invention of the aluminum tubes changed the art field, because now you don't have to create your own oil paints on the atelier. You have the opportunity to get them already mixed and ready in the aluminum tube without drying up, and so you can properly do plein air. So if you look at the history of technology and how it influences art, you see that, for instance, when photography came around, before photography, oil painting was the main way of getting your portrait. But now with photography, the oil painting artists, some of them improved their technique when it comes to photorealism, of course. They make it more photorealistic because now the person being painted didn't have to sit there, or you had to paint them from memory. Now you had a black and white photo to help you. But some artists, they just went and did creative stuff with oil painting, like Kandinsky, Picasso. So photography didn't destroy art. I don't think, it's my opinion, that AI art is going to be a problem. A lot of artists will use it, or they'll just give one step ahead and do something that AI cannot do. So AI would probably keep on trying to play catch with artists. That is my 2 cents on that topic. Anyway, I appreciate anyone listening to this first transmission. If you want to send me an email, it's heyvini@hotmail.com. Yeah, I don't have a professional email account. It's just a Hotmail. So it's heyvini, Hey, Vini with one N, at Hotmail. That is all, folks. Goodbye. Until next time.